name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host, the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the Yard of Streams for another edition of Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off, pretty much. And you can't be taking no nights off here in the Yard of Streams without the best of the West. You can't forget about Sara Marshall. What's popping, girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello, I'm back on camera.
Back in your actual computer that we use for this, because yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yes.
It's a weird schedule. Because yesterday you went from one computer to one computer and then to a phone to deliver the message to the peeps.
It's a rough one to edit.
I can only imagine.
My audio is so bad, so I'm like trying to only cut clips that I'm like, okay, is this that good? Like,
we need a producer to be able to not only do what you're doing in the cutting of clips, that would be cool, lighten the load off you, but also to like have a creative mind to have blooper reels. Because I feel like over our time here, along with just like the cutouts of you saying something and then just like it's a literal cliffhanger where you're about to say the punchline,
yeah,
and it just
or just my point, you know, like
yeah.
the whole point of what I'm saying. So this is funny too. So I made a clip of me talking about Will Sasso's impression of Scott Hall.
Yeah.
And it's gotten like 1,000 views or whatever, right? It has like, I forget what the ratio is. But the likes to dislikes is not too good. It's very weird. People did like, I don't know why people don't like it. I don't know if people have something against Will Sasso, and I just don't know. But they were also mad because I only put in like the 10-second clip or whatever of him doing the impression. I'm like, because I can't just steal content, guys.
Yeah,
okay?
it's
the
law.
So I don't know if people like were mad because they thought that like the video was going to be the impression or something. I'm like, then go watch the video.
So false advertisement. They just want ahead in front of them.
It was just weird. I was like, okay. I just thought that was weird.
People, you know, you're just so hard to please. You fickle.
So it was very weird, but whatever.
Whatever. We're back. Okay. And since it's been a weird week of scheduling, and honestly, Sara, very quiet week. Very quiet week. And this is what I was talking about. It's not a bad time. It's just a steady time. Things aren't as exciting when things are steady, as we all know. And it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We like being just thoroughly entertained for a night, not too overly excited or too overly disappointed. You're right in that sweet spot. And heading into something like King of the Ring, you need it. Like, let the attention be on Gunther and Ilya in that tournament, because we don't need them. We need Cody to rest up. Like, look at the amount of people who are injured.
I know.
Someone put out a tweet, and I kid you not, it could be like a Mania card.
I know.
Strictly of the people who are injured. So like it's okay. This is where having an abundance of talent is totally fine.
Yep.
So it's a weird week. There's not a lot of topics that we can talk about, but this is what we do. We take no nights off. We're just going to talk, get our feelings out about wrestling. We hope you guys can join us in the chat as well. You know what? And I think a great way, Sara, because we don't have any sponsors yet, to do an ad read, we should hear from the peeps. There's not a lot here yet. David, what's poppin'? The loyal. Oh, your right-hand man, clearly. Marcus. We got to conform him into a Pitts. We got to get more Pitts fits. There are too many right-hand men, or your boys, Sara's boys. That's what we got to just until we find something like really there, it's Sara's boys.
Okay.
Because Pitts Fits hits.
My yes boys.
Sarah,
My yes boys.
my yes boys.
Yes boys.
Technically, your yes boy. That kind of I'm going with yes boys. I'm going with yes boys because I like it. There's a lot there. Yeah, you are the only. Miss you too, man. You weren't the comment I was supposed to hit, but like, goddamn, miss you too, man. Yeah, I'm the only right hand man. Well, right now you are. It's gonna be in abundance. All right, that's how you get a following. Come on, guys.
What
Jay, what's poppin'? You are here, and it's nice. We have the the people here are loyal fans. Our own peeps, and the peeps want to hear what we have to say. Our favorites and least favorite things. So let's just kick it off.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud.
Don't be a lemon, Sarah. Be a you are you holding the cat like
Yeah. No, she's standing on my lap. I just have my arm around her.
Right, I thought you were just nurturing a kitten.
No.
Okay. I'm glad we're talking about my least and favorite things of the week. I should have pronounced it differently. Anywho, Sarah, point is, I've been royal rambling here for quite some time. I think it's time for you to tell the peeps what your favorite thing in wrestling was this week.
The announcement of WrestleMania 41 being in Las Vegas. That was my favorite thing because we finally got confirmation weeks late because normally the past few years they've announced next year's WrestleMania during the current WrestleMania, and that didn't happen this year. And I guess part of it, at least allegedly, was the front runner for Mania 41 was Minnesota, but something happened where it fell through, or Triple H, Nick Khan, whoever decided to change their mind, which I'm completely here for. So I'm just really glad that they decided it to be Las Vegas because that means I am going, you're going. And I'm just excited that we can already like start planning, what we're
it's nice.
do.
We were just chit-chatting about it before we got in here. My friend got back to me. It's IHG.
What's IHG?
I have no fucking idea.
Well, what are you talking about?
Hotels.
Oh.
I don't know what IHG.
I think it's just like a brand. Like it's like, yeah. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just excited because I think it's going to be like a really good place. Like it's going to be so different than Philly. The weather, the environment, like the vibe is just going to be so different. And I think a lot more people are going to be out and about doing things because it's Vegas. Oh, yeah. So I'm just excited because I feel like there's so many cool things that they can do that are the Vegas vibe. Like imagine the set for Vegas. Like we love, one of the most iconic sets I would say that they had was when they were in New Orleans. That was one of the more iconic, fun, memorable sets that people love. So I'm like, we need to see something like that in Vegas, like to have slot machine screens or something like something. And so I'm really excited.
Oh my God, slot machines come out of a slot and then the person enters.
Or like when someone comes in, the things go, and then like in the middle, it's them, and they come out or something.
God,
that would be so cool. So
we're manifesting, really.
Yeah. And the good thing is too, because of the money that we'll be able to hopefully save on things, we'll be able to spend more money on tickets to Mania. Then we'll see what else they have there. But I also one of my other goals too is to meet more people. I don't want to only meet Cody and that's it. Like I love Cody, but
or your co-host for the first time.
Yeah,
not just only one.
Well, yeah, I meant wrestlers though.
Well, I want to meet the people though. That's what I mean. Like the only downfall, because obviously there's a negative to everything. The only negative to the WrestleMania trip this year was that because it was like a 30-40 minute drive to Philly, for me, it really wasn't a place to meet new people and meet, other wrestling content creators, and even attempt to do like any vlogs or, convention stuff like that. And that's where I really wanted to go heavy and hard, but it
Mhm.
just you kind of just know it. You know, you get that gut feeling like not the time, not
Yeah.
the place, and especially with it being in Vegas, like I want to go out more. You know what I mean? Like I was driving home, other than Wale Mania, which that was a night and a half. I think the only night I drank
Mhm.
there. I want to go out and like have an experience, not just like bed to event. You know, I want to actually meet and see everything this
Mhm.
time. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier because if we're staying at the same place, then it's a lot easier.
And we're in the city. We're
Mhm.
literally in the event, like where
Mhm.
it's gonna be. You
Yeah.
know, that's huge.
Mhm.
Um, oh, David, boom. IHG's International Hotel Group. They have
Oh.
Holiday Inn. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's where my mom has timeshare.
Oh.
So
Um. Oh shit. The Yeah Revolution.
yay! Hey Tam.
Tim. Oh,
Woo!
the Yeah Revolution a year ago.
Crazy.
That is crazy. Actually thinking about it,
So
because
much has
like,
changed in a year.
oh my god, he
Especially
was he our first guest?
um n- what I don't know if he was before Brett or not. I can't
I
remember.
don't either, but he was
I don't
first
remember.
non-wrestler
Yes.
guest for
Yes.
sure.
Hmm.
Damn, good shit, Tim. I can't wait, especially when good
Tim,
shit.
you should go to Mania. It's in Vegas. Come on.
Yes, that'd be a motley crew.
Mm,
All
that'd
right,
be fun.
using a WWE faction from any time period. You, me, and Tim. What is our team? What faction are we?
The Spirit Squad.
Okay.
Can I be Nikki?
I did give off a lot of Mikey vibes. I do
Okay.
give off Mikey vibes, so
I
I'll let you
wanna
be Nikki.
I'll be Nikki.
You can also
But
be
yeah,
my
just
caddy.
because, it's funny. Yeah.
I'd be down. Sign me up. Tim's in. Tim's in. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, you should go. And then yeah, we're gonna be going. Well, our plan is to go a day earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Because we'll be driving.
Yeah. Go.
Pat is going to fly to Phoenix. I'm gonna pick him up and then we're gonna drive to Vegas.
I'm not kidding. I'm so mad that I didn't get that day in between. Because I was supposed to go to the Phillies game
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
night
yeah.
before. Like I was. Don't even get me started. They don't even deserve my breath.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
make sure you
gonna.
save up more money for your flight so you don't have to
Yeah.
take Frontier or
Yeah.
something.
100%.
Take like a legit airline.
We're paying you off, and then we're refinancing the books. We might even get like a legit accountant. I'm not even kidding. This might be the event that I just be like, here, you're gonna just handle this, and we're gonna just talk, because I'm not. My mind is in other galaxies. But yeah, that's that. I want to talk about my favorite thing, and there's a lot and it's a lot of like little things, because it's been like so quiet of a week and only real big news. I will mention this. I will take this because my rule of thumb, my rosebud is something outside of WWE, and it is the impending free agency of Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey is one of the best indie stars right now. His speed. Watch his match with Will Ospreay. Okay, just he complements that European British style of just hard hitting punches, like all of that. But his kicks, he doesn't wear shoes. Like the dude's electric. Okay, and I want to see him on weekly television. I just don't know which one yet. I'm kind of even torn. Like, do I want him in WWE? But then you go to NXT. So I'm not there yet, but I'm just happy that he's a free agent. And also, did you see the interaction between Pat McAfee and Dakota Kai?
No, I don't think so.
So McAfee was like doing his commentator thing of get her back in the ring and keep it in the ring. Dakota Kai sitting on the apron and is like, she has 10 seconds, Patrick. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then they went back and forth, and like it ended with her screaming like, don't you dare interfere in my match on my birthday, like really get into it. I want more of that between wrestlers on a weekly basis. And it doesn't need to be overdone in every match, but like at least a jab or two. Because then it just makes the commentators part of the show. It kind of lets the viewer who's not there in on it, you know.
Like Cole and Dominic, that's pretty funny.
Yes.
Or Cole with Bailey when Bailey was a heel. Yeah, that was fun. I love the stuff with Dominic still though.
Oh my god.
Because it's like now Pat is getting involved in it. And just like they're just calling him names, and it's even easier now because of that mustache. So it's easy to like.
It's his real dad.
Yeah.
Gunther and McAfee now because McAfee like has to.
Oh, I know. I know, and then Cole, and it's funny because when he was doing the Jey Uso stuff, Cole is like, "What are you doing?" Like, you know, whatever, and giving him a hard time because Gunther's just standing there and like staring at him like, "How dare you?" And then the next week, and you know, since then, when Gunther comes out, he's like trying to show him respect, and then Cole is like, "You're just kissing ass. What are you doing?" And I'm like, he can't win with you, apparently.
Oh my god, it's really like two best friends going at it, like just constant. Like jabs, doesn't matter what side you're on, you're gonna get a jab in the side at either way.
And it's funny too because you know we talk about all of the big and the subtle changes that have happened in WWE since Vince has gone, and one of the ones that we've talked about liking a lot is the change at commentary, obviously. But I think one of the things that I love the most about the change in commentary is WWE posting those videos of funny moments between Cole and Pat, like during the broadcast. Like those I love because it's like, I mean, like I understand why they gave characters to the commentators, you know, with JR and King and whatever. Like I get it. It made them they're such a huge part of the show for
different
people
time
watching
too.
At home. Yeah. So like I get why you want to involve, like if they're going to be involved because they are the voice of the show, like might as well give them a character. But I feel like with what they're doing now, it humanizes them so much more. So it's like you're able to see also that they're fans, which I think is nice too, because otherwise it's like, I think that was an issue that people had with what was his name? Patrick.
Oh, Kevin Patrick.
Kevin Patrick.
Love Kevin Patrick.
Well, people had an issue. I had an issue with him.
You so did.
Because he was so like buttoned up and just trying too hard. And I think part of it was because he didn't have that natural fandom within him. I think that was part of it too. Plus, obviously, his background was in like news. So that hindered him. But I like to see this human side of Cole so much more. And you can just tell after 20 something years of being in WWE, he's having the time of his life right now. And that makes it more enjoyable as someone who's watching from home. You know, so I think it's like it's working out really, really well.
It really is. And even McAfee not knowing every move, it's like he's a fan, which is exactly what they want to bring in.
Yeah. That's his role as the color commentator too. Like he doesn't need to know everything.
Well, Kyle even said to me, he's like, I only watch wrestling when McAfee's on. Because he's a huge McAfee guy. But guess what? You just got eyes on your product because you have a Pat McAfee loyalist. Like that's just smart. That's the shit that just makes them there. Right there. All right. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. Because you got to tell me what is the least favorite thing you saw this week.
Well, you kind of already touched on it, but I want to I have more of a conversation about it, I guess. I'm really sad about how many injuries there are right now.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not just to, you know, and I say this in a respectful way, you know, like the Sonya Deville's where it's like, that sucks, but like she's not, her absence isn't a huge loss. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't, she's not a top girl in the company and she wasn't involved in a huge storyline that it was just really bad timing. But we have Drew McIntyre who's injured. We have CM Punk who's still injured. Then we find out about the SmackDown King and Queen of the Ring matches. Asuka is now out. Bobby Lashley is out. It's like there's just so many people. We have Seth Rollins out. There's just a lot of injuries right now, and it's to a lot of the top names. And even though for the most part, they didn't get injured until at or after WrestleMania. So they were all able to be on the card. So they didn't miss it. It still sucks though, because we're getting into more of the dead, like we've talked about, parts right now, where it's like post-Mania, where it's not super exciting, but it's not boring. And the fact that there are so many people that are sidelined because they can't compete, like that sucks, because there are a few that they can't even be on screen. Like they're injured so much that they can't even be around. Like Drew, at least he's injured, he can't compete, but they're still involving him. Same thing with Punk. But there is still a void there, even though they are. Even though they are on screen, it's like, well, you still want to see them wrestle. Like you want to see this feud come to fruition, and we're not able to see that. So it's just kind of unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
And you hope that it doesn't, names don't continue to pile up. And it's not even just in WWE. There's a bunch of injuries in AEW as well. So it's just like there's something in the water right now. And I'm like, can we like close the valve? Can we stop that?
Seriously.
Like, stop drinking from this, like
seriously. It's getting out of control, because a lot of great talent is on the shelf. I mean, you mentioned WWE, and yes, you're right. There are people in AEW who are hurt. Jamie Hayter, like, where are you? I miss you. Her entrance song you hit is MJF. Kenny Omega. Like,
is Adam Cole around?
Adam Cole can't walk, or he can now. He's walking.
I was just watching I watched a little bit of their new video of them playing Overcooked, and oh my god, it was Cole.
I love the party.
Yeah, but I was watching them play Overcooked too. It was Breeze,
that
Cole,
popped up. Yeah.
And Claudio.
Yeah,
I watched for Claudio. Yes.
You love your European man.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with him. Like, anyway, he's such a man. So, but what I was laughing at is they've never played Overcooked before, and I love Overcooked, but they had never played. And then Breeze is like, "No, we're gamers. We don't read directions." So like they're trying to play, and they have no idea what to do, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
they do that with Mario Party, and it's like a whole bit.
Yeah, well, and then Claudio picked like who I would have picked as a character, so I was like, "Oh, we're like soulmates." Like, you picked the platypus, I would have too.
Oh
Claudio.
God. That's incredible.
Yeah. Shout out Claudio.
We stand the BCC here.
We stand.
What? Oh, I'm next on my lemon, because like there's like kind of, I mean, the injuries is definitely one thing. I'm not gonna just like take that as mine. Like, I will say I'm not gonna go too much into it, because I do have a banner about it. But like the elite stuff right now with Team AEW versus Team Elite.
Oh geez.
I have a lot of thoughts about it, because I'm not on one side. I'm once again right in the middle. So I wish I was more like totally in on it. NXT, I don't like this metaphor shit with Trick Williams. Like, I get it's the first feud, and you need him to come out like who's the D-list villain that Spider-Man needs to face? That he needs a win. Like, that's kind of what you're doing with Trick, to like, oh, he beat this guy. He's a defending champion.
For me, it feels more of like they're trying to make him and Lash Legend's real life relationship an on-screen thing. And I just think that's weird. Like, it's just not, because to me, there are so many people that are dating in wrestling. We don't need to make every single one of their real life relationships become a storyline. We don't need it. You know what I mean? Because it's just not necessary, because it's inevitable. They're all going to date. They're all going to get married. Like it's going to happen. Yeah. So I never really understand why they force these things, because there was no reason for Lash and Trick to even be like, hey guys, we're actually dating. Like, we didn't need to know that on NXT television. Like, it doesn't add anything. At least not yet. You know what I mean? Like when it was presented, like when they kissed or whatever, it was so random. And everyone was like, wait, what? You know?
Yeah.
So, and now it feels like that's what they're trying to do, which maybe if there's like an end game to this, we don't know yet. But it just does feel like, oh, we want to like put this out there, but no one cares that they're dating. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's such an old school thing, you know, like Vince loved to do that, but we don't need to keep doing that.
It just feels to me like a silly first feud where it's chapter 1 of the book. Like you just know what the end result is. You're doing it for the ride.
And they just got rid of some of the top names in NXT. So it's like Trick doesn't have the Mello to go to. He doesn't have Ilya again to go to. He doesn't have Braun Breaker to go to. You know, like he doesn't have those same guys at that level with him right now because they all like were bigger before him. So they were due to be called up. So it's like he's the top guy and they need to also add more top guys to be on his level with him. And they're trying to do that by like building them up as he's feuding with them. So it's like it's not going to be amazing at first, you know, because it's like they don't have a bunch of guys just waiting around that are on Trick's level that he can feud with that are going to have good matches with because they're all gone. Like the main ones, I mean, are gone. They're on Raw or SmackDown. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Lemon, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. I can't stand you. I'm over it right now.
Why?
I'm just over this TBS feud. I don't like. I get.
Has she even wrestled yet?
No.
Oh, so she's still okay. So she debuted.
She's going to win she's going to win the TBS title, which I get it. It's you're gonna you want to legitimize a title, put it on a legitimate star, but this Willow, I just I want Mercedes in fighting the Tony Storms, the Deonna Purrazzo's, even Mariah May. I think that'd be a good one because of Mariah May's background. And or Britt Baker. Where the fuck is Britt Baker?
I don't know.
Do you know what like annoyed I am?
Dentist?
No, but she's just written off television, and she's like training. Like,
well, maybe she was injured.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Something's up because there's no reason that you don't have Britt Baker on television right now because of an injury we don't know about. Bizarre to me. Let's get some comments here before we get into what's popping. Because we have people that want to give their own lemons and rosebuds, which we love. Crowd participation. Jay, overall storytelling, good. I like that.
I think I think that's one of his strong suits so far. Unless you ask Ronda Rousey, then no. Because that's something she said in her book.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest differences between him and Vince is that Triple H understands the importance of storytelling. And I feel like he's a lot more in tune with what wrestling fans want to see right now and what they get invested in. And it's not just, we want to see these big man matches all the time, or no one cares about this feud. It's like, no, we do. We care about the small details. We care about the background. We care about the history. Like all of that makes for a good feud. So I think that Triple H being in his position, even though it's new, like being behind the scenes, but also being a wrestler and going through storyline after storyline after storyline is really what's benefiting the company right now.
Mm-hmm. It is. And his lemon is Bayley not being on the PLE poster. She is the best person from the Four Horsewomen, but Becky gets all. Oh, we have some. Okay.
We can argue that for a different day. I agree with your first statement about Bayley not being on the posters. I find that weird. It almost feels like it's a bit at this point. That's what people were saying. They're like, it has to just be a joke because they are very aware of what wrestling fans are saying online. And even though that doesn't necessarily translate to what is, what they're doing or what they're saying at an actual live event, it's still, they have their finger on the pulse. They know, so they're gonna know that people are complaining about Bayley not being on there, and even Bayley saying it on her Twitter. So I feel like it has to be on purpose. At least that's what I'm like. At this point, I hope it's on purpose, because otherwise, like, what are we doing? She's your women's champion. Like, there's no reason. Because like the SummerSlam poster, Rhea's on it. Love Rhea, but she's injured. So why? Like, we don't even know if she'll be back by SummerSlam. So why is she there? Like, why is she on the poster? It's weird.
I don't know, Sarah. Yeah. I really don't know. That's all the comments we got now. For now. Oh no, I want this one. Kevin Patrick is a phenomenal soccer commentator. Just wrestling wasn't his thing. You can tell.
That's what we said. Where it was like he just couldn't break out of his background, which is fine, because sometimes it's just like you try something new and it doesn't work, but what you had been doing all along was the great fit for you. And I feel like in a way they kind of try to push him into this commentator role fairly quickly, and I think that worked against him as well, because they wanted him to be the lead very early on. Like, if we're looking at Graves becoming the main guy on SmackDown, it was years and years before he got that position. Otherwise, he's always been the color commentator. So, or one piece on a three people team. So, I think that Kevin Patrick is where he should be, and that's why he's thriving, because like that's what he's good at.
I think Kevin Patrick would fit in this current era as a backstage correspondent.
Yeah, they're definitely highlighting the women though.
Oh, I know what they're doing. Yeah. And I'm not taking anything away.
No, I know. I'm saying like they basically sparingly use Saxton. Like Saxton is used for like .com stuff and then press conferences. Yeah.
As much as we shit on Saxton.
I don't shit on Saxton.
No, the peeps, not you.
Oh, I'm like, I always liked him from NXT.
Yeah, but the peeps.
Did you know that?
Give him shit.
Did you know that he was on
You
NXT?
Probably mentioned it. I did know he was in NXT.
Yeah, he was on the original NXT.
I did know that. I thought you said if I remember you mentioning it.
Yeah, he wasn't my favorite. That was Percy Watson.
You have told me that.
And he's like, I have. Oh yeah. Oh my god. I need to get like a video of that so I can play it.
I think you do.
Yeah.
What's poppin'? Dude, we really
nothing,
need
bro.
I want some segues. I want an ad and like segue.
Sorry.
Like, we got to put my creative mind into work here. It's what the champ does. Puts his creative mind to use. Sarah, we need to also take your creative mind and put it to use, because we have a lot of things to talk about that need some creativity and some discussion. Because they're good topics. All right, like that's the thing this week. Is that it was a slow week. I wouldn't say it's quiet, because some shit did pop off, but there's not a lot of exciting news around like the WWE Championship.
Yeah,
of course there isn't. Cody just won it. The AEW title, like it's Swerve and now Christian Cage, which is great, but that's not headlining All In. You know,
Christian's in character 24/7.
And I love Christian. You can't, exactly. Like,
he's such a nice guy, unless he's changed in the 10 years since I met him. But
I mean, the only thing I could think of is him just going in with the bit.
Yeah,
and like the nice guy is.
And when I met him, it was at a news station, and the news anchor was like flirting with him. A man, by the way.
Yeah, that still doesn't shock me.
It was funny though.
Have you seen how he dresses?
Because he gave him a promo photo of him, you know, like he just gave them to them or whatever. And then my friend, I went with my friend, and then her friend came too. And I didn't have anything because Christian was like, oh, hey, you know, because he was world heavyweight champion at the time. And he wanted to sign stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't have one. So he like gave her a promo photo, and I didn't have one. So I believe that I have the one that was the news anchors, because the news anchor was like, whatever. But he was like, oh, I can tell you look good with your shirt on or off. And I was like, this is weird. Because he said that to Christian. Christian's like, yeah, okay.
I'm uncomfortable. Just stand up. I'm uncomfortable.
I also love Christian. At least he did. I don't know if he still does. I think he still does. He personalizes every autograph, and I am here for that because that means that you can't sell that shit. So that's why I'm like, king shit right there.
Yeah, I fuck with that so hard.
I don't ask for personalization because I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, but like if they ask me like, oh, hey, what's your name? I'm sure. You know, like Christian just wrote like, I think just like to Sara, and it was like best wishes, and then wrote Christian. EC3 asked me for my name. Yeah,
he's the best wishes guy.
EC3 asked for my name, and I forget what he wrote. What did he write? I know he did like XOXOXOXO like a
damn right he did that.
I don't remember what else he wrote. But yeah, like I'll never forget you or something like just because.
Damn right he said that.
Like that. I don't know.
That's fucking cheesy.
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, Christian was a funny guy. But
yeah, that's kind of the week.
I'll tell you what EC3 wrote. I think it's over here. It's just like in a pile of frames. So
pile of frames.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's all like looking way different now. He's got tattoos and
he looks wicked different.
He's jacked, but he's always been jacked.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
We stand Derek Bateman. Although he said Derek Bateman died in a car accident. So Derek Bateman was his cousin. What?
Oh.
Derek Bateman is EC3. That was his WWE name. Before
Derek
he came
Bateman.
back, Derek Bateman was his NXT name. Then he left. Then he came back as EC3. His joke is Derek Bateman was his cousin, and he died in a car crash or something. That was
okay.
Do you not get it?
I do get it, but that's dark.
No, Matt Cardona says the same thing. That Zack Ryder's dead.
He says Zack Ryder's dead. I just think the car crash was like a little detail. It's like, oh
no, he doesn't say that. He just said like he's dead. I'm just saying he like said that in person is what I'm saying.
It's still
because I told him I've met his cousin.
Oh, okay.
Is what I said. And he was like, oh, who? Funny. And I was like, oh, Derek Bateman.
Okay.
He's like, oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, that's okay. That's funny then. All right.
Yeah.
See, there we go. Get it all out. And then, that's kind of it. It's been a weird week. But there has been stuff going on. And we'll start with some, let's start here. Let's start here. Some Bloodline 2.0 update. Because, Backlash, we didn't go live afterwards because it's being in a weird time. And someone popped up. New member. Tongaloa. Yeah, Tongaloa.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Camacho, if you tuned in yesterday. And now we got that member of the Bloodline added. And now it's circling around that Jacob Fatu's, it's imminent. He's signed, essentially, obviously, with everything reported.
Mm-hmm.
But now, Sarah, and here's where I'm just going to let you pop off about this. Everyone's saying that Jacob Fatu could potentially outshine Solo Sikoa, and they're worried about bringing him on because of that, which worried is a strong word.
The thing that I find the most interesting about this is that for so long we were treated as WWE fans that we didn't know about people who didn't wrestle in WWE. Like we were tunnel vision. Like we only knew if you were ever in WWE. We don't know anyone in New Japan, TNA, now AEW. Like we don't know anybody on the indies. Like they won't treated us like we were dumb, And then now it's like, oh, well, if Jacob Fatu comes in, it's like everyone's going to be so excited and so obsessed and he's going to take over. And it's like, okay, so which is it? Like, do we know about people who aren't in WWE or do we know? Because I feel like this guy just showing up, why would we all of a sudden decide that he was the leader of the new bloodline? Like, I'm really confused about that because it's like people are familiar with him. They know the Fatu name, obviously. And it takes a quick Google search of Jacob Fatu to know what type of wrestler he is. But like, isn't isn't like who the leader is or who people perceive as the leader going to depend on how they book them, like how you have the story progress and what you have each of them doing. Like, if anything, that same argument could have been made when Roman wasn't around. When Roman wasn't around, the Usos and Solo were still doing stuff. So does that mean that Roman was seen any less than the tribal chief? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that they've been doing a good job so far with what they've had Solo and Tama Tonga do. I think that if anybody is having a hard time seeing Solo as the new tribal chief, is just because, hello, it was 3.5 years, 4 years of seeing Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. Like, yeah, it's going to take time to adjust to, one, not having Roman on TV for months and months at a time, and two, to see a new guy kind of trying to perform those duties. So I think it's up to WWE. It's going to be up to you. You either continue to do what you're doing and making Solo look like this tough guy, maybe adding some more stuff to his repertoire, more than just the thumb. And then, you know, when you bring in Jacob, don't give him the opportunity to outshine Solo. Like, don't.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if like fans decide that they want to kind of like, if they gravitate towards Jacob more, but at the same time, aren't we not supposed to be supporting them? Like, aren't we supposed to not want this Bloodline 2.0? So that's the thing that's like confusing too. Like,
it's all about,
I don't know.
It's all about bringing him in. It's all about how they do it. And at this point, you gotta hit the nail on the head with that. Like, it doesn't matter if he does get more popular, because it's all about how you book him in that way. But also, like, who cares?
Well,
to me, it's just like, who cares? Like, he gets more popular. All right, well, maybe he's not the leader, and you make Solo leader, and then you do something with it, and then everyone's going in on and wanting Jacob Fatu to be like, then you have something there as a story. It just.
But it's also like, I'm not saying that they're comparable, but we didn't have this concern with The Rock and Roman. No one was saying anything other than the people like me, but no one was, at least we didn't hear reports about, oh gosh, the creative team is worried because The Rock is like, he's still getting pops, or he's looking more like the tribal chief instead of Roman. No one was saying stuff then, and it's like, that's The Rock, dude. Like, we can't assume that people are going to know who Jacob Fatu is. Like, there are going to be fans who are very aware of him because they are well-versed in wrestling as a whole outside of WWE. So there are going to be people who are very familiar with what he does in his career. But the vast majority of people are only going to recognize who his father is, who his cousins are, what his last name is, and then they're going to look at him and know that he's a tough SOB. Other than that, it's like, what? Like, you're really, this seems more like banking on the internet wrestling fan. Like, that's what I feel like it is, because I'm like, otherwise we haven't had this concern at all. If you were, then you wouldn't be going in this direction with the bloodline to begin with, because the only reason you're really bringing in Jacob Fatu is because of this Bloodline 2.0 vision that you had.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, man.
I agree there. Like, I don't really know what else to say about it, because it's just, like, what do you want? It feels like you are catering to the internet fan who's just saying this because it's this one day, and then the next day we're going to hear that, oh, this is not true and whatnot, because for the past week or so, I've seen so many reports about stuff that we haven't talked about here, because the next day it's debunked or something. This
also just feels like they're preparing for the worst. Like, if like Solo doesn't become the guy that they want, it's like they want to blame it on something already. But I don't know. This just feels like internet stuff. This feels like something Meltzer would say. Like, like they're just like, it's damage control in the future or something. But WWE is really in control of how this happens. So if this doesn't go the way that they want it to, it's going to be because of them. It's not going to be because of the fans' reaction to Jacob Fatu. Like, it's weird. Because then there could be people like me who'll become obsessed with Tama Tonga. Hello. No one's worried about that. They should be.
They kind of should.
There are more me's out there, because if you were at WrestleMania, there were a lot of no yeets. Okay,
A lot of no yeets.
There were. I mean, obviously the majority is yeets.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of no yeets. So there is a lot of people out there who are, gravitating towards the guys that we're not supposed to cheer for. So
they are. What's next? I kind of want to keep going with the flow here. Look at that pop in the spirit. Let's go right in. Let's go. No, fuck it. We'll talk about that next. I want to talk about this now because we're on PLEs and whatnot.
This was Meltzer.
Yeah, we're talking about Bloodline. They just came back from Backlash, and it was reported by Meltzer that WWE Backlash did the lowest pay-per-view, keyword pay-per-view, sales in, like, what was it, like, in the past 10 years? I'm gonna look it up. I'm looking. It's in the past 10 years. Here's the thing, guys. That's pay-per-view, not streaming services. You don't pay per view there, okay?
Yeah.
And if it's being the lowest in so long, that doesn't tell you that the product is going sour.
Yeah.
What it means is actually the complete opposite, and it tells more about where we're watching the product and how accessible it is to watch the product because of where it is. Like, it's so asinine, the comments I see, like, oh yeah, I get what the quote is, okay? I get what, if I don't think it was a bash at them, I think it's just a statistic, because
it's pay-per-view. Kind of bash at them because it's Meltzer.
It is obvious. It's a little bit of one, but let's think of it positively here and calm the riot down, that it's not the end of the world, because people were treating it like the end of the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because it doesn't count Peacock or streaming services. If pay-per-view sales are going down, that means that you're getting deals like Peacock and Netflix and whatnot to give your show a wider audience. Like, it's
can you
actually
still buy it though, like that? Can you still buy
Xfinity? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can. Then, if you have Xfinity.
Like, it's just a way to try and divide the fan base, to create controversy where it's not there, because it's like, this is not a measure in which you say how well the product is doing, especially it's like, okay, they just set how many records in France. Mind you, some of it is because the tickets are outrageous, but at the same time, like, there was like 15,000 people in France. It was also on at 10 a.m. West Coast, 1 p.m. Eastern. So it's an obscure time for a majority of their most loyal fan base, which is in North America. So it's like, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, it was at 1 in the. It was at 1 in the. Yeah, the amount of replays.
Well, it was 10 a.m. for me. So it's like, that's not. It's Saturday, yeah, but like, a lot of people are out and playing. Having their day off, with playing with their kids, doing whatever, running errands. So
and then they come back home.
Yeah,
and watch it.
And it's like, we're not concerned. And of course, it's not a big four. So it's like, if this were WrestleMania, then yeah, okay, sure. Then that would be a concern, that you have like record low viewership or something. But I mean, it's just not a good thing. Yeah, I think he's just, I don't know what his deal is, being like anti-WWE right now, but I think that's a lot of what he's doing. And, it's Meltzer. I don't know. Yeah. And I've said this before. I said this to you before he went live. I don't understand where these aggregator accounts will discredit and clown Meltzer for the things that he says, but then they'll repost something like this that he says. And like, without any context or any commentary, they're just reposting it to be like, look at what Meltzer's saying. And it's like, but why are we taking it as gospel? Why are you clowning on him 9 out of 10 times? But this one time, this is what you share. Like, it's just so bizarre to me. Like, you can't, like I said to you, you can't pick and choose when you believe Meltzer. You either believe him all the time or none of the time. You can't just decide when he's a reliable source when every other time before now you said he wasn't. So
Exactly.
it's weird.
And here's Jay laying the smack down. He has Xfinity. If I have premium Xfinity package, a Peacock subscription is included. So yes, it's giving you both options, but
Yeah.
behind door number 1 is a car, and behind door number 2 is pretty much a gunshot to the head. You know, like it's kind of like
it's
there's
just
a difference.
I think it's just AEW has been under scrutiny a lot because their reported numbers come out and they're always under like a million. I don't even know how many times they've actually hit a million, but people have been harping on a lot where it was like under 800,000. And so I think that this was a way for Meltzer to like say something negative about WWE just to kind of try and even the playing field, even though obviously they're doing over 2 million like for Raw and SmackDown. So it's like, okay, it's not, let's stop. Like they just sold out a show in France. You know what I mean? Like
it was 100,000. That's why.
Yeah.
The fact that 100,000 people even bought it, I think that should be a record in itself in 2020.
I mean, it's just dumb.
What are we doing? It's like turning on AM radio to listen to the ball game. I don't ridiculous.
I don't know.
Well, we're talking about AEW. You gave us a great transition here because AEW is celebrating their 5-year anniversary, May 26th, of Double or Nothing at the venue where it all started. Let me get the info up here for it. Should have this prepared.
Shout out to Cody Rhodes.
There you go.
Well, just because I think it's hilarious how the AEW crowd has turned on him, including the wrestlers. And it's like, do you know who you're working for? Do you know what company you're watching? Like, as much as you hate it, Cody Rhodes is a founding father of AEW. So
it is at the Garden Arena at MGM Grand, which is where the first ever Double or Nothing went live. And I'm gonna get the card here, Sarah, because
didn't Rey Mysterio perform?
That's All In.
Okay, I was like, I remember Rey Mysterio.
No,
wasn't he? Yeah. Okay.
No, it was All Out. All Out. It was
there's a lot of similar names. So
no, there really are. There's like I get confused. The worst was they had All In and All Out back to back. Like what?
Yeah, it's just a lot to keep up with.
All right, so I brought this up mainly because I don't want to sound like a contrarian, but I'm more excited for Double or Nothing than I am for King of the Ring.
Like when is Double or Nothing?
May 26th.
Oh, this year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying May 26th was the anniversary of are they having it on the same day as the anniversary?
No, it's the 5-year anniversary of the event itself.
Okay, sorry, I got confused with how you worded it.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think we talked about how the King and Queen of the Ring is not like exactly exciting. The build up to it feels very quick and forced, so that's not surprising to me.
It doesn't have.
It's a very quick turnaround for.
It's a very quick turnaround. The King of the Ring I liked, but it was never my favorite.
Yeah.
Thing in wrestling. But I always enjoyed it, and I enjoy it now. I'm excited in the wrestling fan aspect, but it's not my favorite thing in wrestling, and that's okay. I like that we have options now. We don't, like, for instance, like after last night, we have Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage, Anarchy in the Arena, which this is where it will decide if I'm all in or, oh God, they made me even reference it. Pun not intended. If I'm all in or all out on the TK versus Young Bucks storyline going on right now.
All of it's just like team elite.
Team Tony. Team Elite versus Team Tony. But it's
just recycling old storylines for WWE. It's just
wrestling repeats itself.
No, I know, but this is just like such a blatant. I have nothing positive to say about this. It's just Tony Khan's attempt.
There's so much.
The
They're doing
irony
well.
in this situation is not lost on me. Okay, the fact that this dude was on NFL Network saying all these things about WWE, whatever, and now he's literally trying to be the guy that he was shitting on in one of the most iconic storylines of the Attitude Era. Like, then he's trying to be that guy in current day wrestling. Like, it's like, bro.
See, to me, this, I like, you look at it through the, oh, I hate it because TK, but I like it because the Young Bucks. Like,
I'm just saying the whole concept of it is just funny because like you're shitting on Vince McMahon 1 second, but now you're trying to be Vince McMahon. Like, that is what I'm saying. Like, you literally went on television and called him Harvey Weinstein, said that and whatever. But then, like, now you're trying to involve yourself in a storyline, very much like how Vince versus Stone Cold.
But that's what he would say about. That's what Vince would say about Ted Turner, and Bishop. Like he wouldn't say anything, but like now he would. Like Vince really would say that, So that's where I see where it just he's gotta mature a little bit in that role. But from the Young Bucks perspective, like this could be something. And watching Dynamite, the aligning themselves with Christian after the beatdown on Swerve, like that was really well done and a really good job at blurring the lines, which is exactly what their purpose of this is. This Anarchy in the Arena match could, if it slaps, this is going to be a good thing. This little feud they got going. If this is a great match, because how can you have a bad match? You have obviously the Elite, the new Elite, the Elite 2.0, a lot of 2.0s here, of Okada, the Young Bucks, and my scapegoat and yours, Jack Perry.
No, he's nothing to me.
He is your scapegoat, Sarah, and you will like it.
No.
I love you, Jack Perry.
It's so weird
versus Team AEW of FTR, Eddie Kingston.
I want to say
FTR.
Fuck the Revival. That's what I want to say.
Fuck the Revival.
No, but you say fuck the Revival.
Have you seen that clip of Cody?
Yes, I believe so.
Fuck, it's one of my favorite BTE clips. You have that, which is going to be a really good match, obviously. Hopefully is. Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong. That's going to sneaky be a show stealer. Out of the two women's matches, I'm more excited for Toni Storm over the Mercedes Moné match. I just don't care about Serena Deeb. I think this is just pointless. I think Willow and Mercedes will be a good match, but I want her in other.
I think she debuted too early. You can't debut and then it takes 3 months for you to finally get in the ring. Like, that's just a very long time.
That is true. For
a storyline to continue without any momentum added other than an exchanging of words, that's the problem that we kind of talked about with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. It's like, it was good. Punk got injured. Drew is keeping it going, and then Punk is able to come on TV and get a little bit physical. But now Drew is injured, and so it's like we're never going to see the end of this in a timely manner. And that's when it's like they're trying to keep it interesting because it gets boring if you don't get to see the match. It's like, okay, then what are we doing? This isn't a soap opera, It's the whole point of wrestling is that they get into the ring. So I think. I get why they wanted Mercedes to debut in Boston, but if they knew that she was injured and wouldn't be able to perform for however many months, it's like you could have probably held it off a little bit longer. So, it wouldn't feel like, oh my God, is this still going,
Yeah, I'm with you because I after those two matches, or after her first, I want to say month, I was like, I want to see some matches, and we haven't seen anything yet. I totally understand that she might be recovering from that injury a little bit longer, but I would have liked to see her debut against a Deonna Purrazzo after she defeated Toni Storm, or even if Toni Storm defeated her and then have Mercedes, something like that. I think the TBS is just a way of putting a belt on Mercedes Moné to legitimize it.
Yeah.
So yeah, But I'm excited for it. So next up, Lashley and Mello going at it. Mello was talking shit online, and then Bobby Lashley went on the bump and explained himself and was pretty much saying how I'm blanking here. I'm pretty much how these young guns, they just run their mouth. They don't respect their veterans. You know, I worked with Batista and JBL. I think he called him Bradshaw, but JBL. And those guys, you had to earn their respect. And to me, it just really feels like it's the earliest of teases to a feud with Bobby Lashley and Carmelo Hayes.
Well, and especially because they teased him becoming a part of the little clique that Bobby's got going on.
Pride.
I'm okay with this because I do like that they're keeping Mello a bad guy. I think it's the right move right now because he's such a good heel. The problem, of course, is, as we already talked about, is that Lashley's injured. So it's like, it just is like, okay, cool. Let's tease this, but then let's like pump the brakes a bit because I don't want to see too much of this made until Lashley can actually compete. Because again, otherwise we're getting all of this and then you have to wait however long until you can actually see what happens between them. So I think this would be interesting, especially because they're so different. They're so different in size and style. And obviously at like opposing ends of their careers. So, I mean, I think it could be interesting. I mean, I would have loved to have Mello as a part of the group as well, but
I would have liked it too. But now with Mello facing Bobby and the tease that they had, you can now do a bit of a feud where Mello was too cocky and Lashley's trying to humble him, and then it's, you know, a feud about respect, and then Mello maybe comes in, but like,
well, they also had to change them to baby faces because they could not.
Maybe he now hits him over the head with a chair and Mello pins Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, it's just
that's a way to make a statement on SmackDown.
The Street Profits were getting cheered when they weren't supposed to, so
you can't boo the Street Profits, Sarah. You just can't.
They tried, but
I can't. I will not boo Montez Ford.
Yeah,
ever. Even Dawkins.
I like Dawkins. Yeah. I mean, I like Montez too, but I like Dawkins because I want to I like to like the people that most people don't like. You know.
I've gotten that from you.
But I also just gravitate towards certain people, so I don't fight it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I like JD McDonough. It's not because people say that he's a Funko or a bobblehead. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, everyone shits on JD, so I'm gonna like him. It's like, no, I just like him.
You were really liking him at wait, what was it? Raw?
Yeah.
That was Raw, right?
Yeah, that was for Speed, WWE Speed. Yeah. After his match with Axiom is when he flipped off the guy.
Because the Stand and Deliver didn't have speed, right? It just went right into the event. Okay.
Yeah. That was when JD did like triple duty.
Yay. Oh my God, that workhorse.
Yeah. What a king.
Sneaky, my favorite seats of the entire weekend. Or week.
Our seats on
Stand
Raw.
and Deliver.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like sneaky favorite seats of the weekend.
Yeah, they were quite comfy.
Watching wrestling live in a recliner can't beat it. Cannot beat it, Sarah. All right, you know who can beat it? Ronda fucking Rousey. I am so over her speaking words. I can't stand it. She did say something that she wished she got to get a one-on-one with Becky again, or for the first time. I don't think they ever fought one-on-one. So a match with Becky Lynch, that one-on-one would have been nice.
Yeah.
And I do agree there because I think they actually could have done something good. But she's talking a lot of nonsense in her memoir, which you were telling, and there's a whole thread about it. I'm going to bring up the thread here because you sent it to me, correct? Yes, let's go. Okay. And I'm just going to read some of the most ridiculous things. So the tweet is from @TiffySeason. Just finished the Ronda Rousey book. It was good. Here's a thread of stuff she wrote about. Note, this is only about her WWE run. Nothing personal. So, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. With was told Lacey Evans will be winning the no, this isn't a continuation. Okay. Was told Lacey Evans will be winning the title and was told she can tell Lacey herself, but eventually plans change it to being Liv, leaving Ronda guilty for telling Lacey
I
and
don't
getting
believe
her hopes up.
I don't believe it for a second that Lacey was gonna win. I don't
believe they would let Ronda Rousey tell Lacey Evans.
yeah. I don't think that Lacey was gonna win the title over Ronda.
No shit. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm just saying that I don't think they would have told Ronda to go tell her. That's weird.
Yeah.
Your first ever title in WWE, and let's give. I don't want to give her all the praise in the world, but Lacey Evans in NXT and had her in NXT slap, but had her moments in WWE where I think she could have been something.
I mean, you can tell they were definitely trying, but I just felt like in a lot of because like the whole thing with her and Ric Flair, like that was just weird.
Oh, that killed it. That was it. That was the jump in the shark, torpedo, whatever.
I just find it hard to believe that they were like, oh yeah, Lacey's gonna win the title, and then LOL, just kidding, it's gonna be Liv. Like what? Liv won Money in the Bank. So like, what is Ronda saying? Lacey was gonna win Money in the Bank? Like, what are we doing? It's very confusing. I don't know. And it's possible that this person that is relaying the information from the book is just not providing enough context or whatever, and maybe that's why it's seeming more weird. I don't know. I don't plan on reading Ronda's book, so I can't sit here and be like, oh well, this was wrong. But just some of this is just kind of like, what?
One thing, another tweet, because the whole thread, it's awesome. Confronted Triple H saying that she doesn't like to be left out of the loop and that she didn't like how they kept ignoring her request to be told information about her path.
Yeah, because then it also says that she's claiming that they said the Sami Zayn thing with the bloodline had been booked in a year in advance, but they were saying to her that they don't book it out that far. First of all, that's a lie too. So if she's relaying incorrect information or she was being told incorrect information, because we know that the whole Sami thing was not booked in a year in advance. Maybe they had an idea of putting him with the bloodline months in advance, but how it went about, absolutely not, because they did not think that fans were going to respond the way that they did, and that's why they kept him with the bloodline for so long. That's why they made him an honorary member. That's why they put him like as if he were in the bloodline. That was not something they thought about a year in advance. So to me, I mean, like there's other stuff she said in here, like I knew you were probably going to say that she said the match between Charlotte and Rhea went 20 minutes over.
Oh, I was waiting for you to say that one because I have another one here.
When their match was 23 minutes, it's like, girl, that's not true. To me, this just like all of this is going to be coming from her perspective, of course. And I think a lot of it is either, a delusional perspective or she's just flat out lying. But a lot of it just feels like to me someone who is just so inexperienced with the business and that she doesn't understand why things don't go the same way as they did in UFC or in other avenues or whatever. And then she's just expressing her frustration because of that, because she doesn't understand the business side of what she was doing. That's what it comes off to me.
She does not get it. Like, 2 here, Ronda was told time makes money and not matches, in which she responded, what type of money does an 8-minute entrance make? Referring to Roman. And I mean, said was annoyed Seth and the bloodline had 2 segments and was told her segment with Shayna would have to be cut down. She responded with, why are 2 people who aren't even here getting more time? Because, Ronda, the fans want to see them whether they're here or on a screen. And they're not here for you because you're just bitching and complaining. And you're like, I am Ronda Rousey and I'm the ass kicker from UFC. No, different world, different people, different fandoms.
And the thing is like she has a point to an extent about like, why is it taking like 10 minutes for Roman to make an entrance? Like, that does feel like a channel changer for people because it's like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom or like go watch something else because it's going to take him 10 minutes to get from the start of his music until he finally speaks. Like, okay, I get what she's saying there, but like other things, it's like I think she just felt like she was coming in and was just gonna be privy to information as if she was a top dog, and it's like, no, you're coming into WWE as Ronda Rousey, who people know, but you're not John Cena, you're not The Undertaker, you're not at the top of the food chain the way you were in UFC. It's not the same. So either they sold her a bag of goods and then they didn't deliver, or like I don't know, something went wrong along the way and now she's just taking it out. But she also doesn't seem to take much accountability for her behavior, because she had been shitting on the company while she was in the company for a long time, and the way that they did things, and she was like talking about how fake it was, and how dumb it was, and she was talking about the fans, and it's like, so why would you think that anyone would want to work with you or respect you or respond to you in a favorable way? Like, I don't, that's the part that's really confusing to me.
That's all I got to say about Ronda Rousey. I really hate her. She's doing a complete 180 on me. That's what happens when you get into the wrestling world. Your true colors really show, because goddamn, I can't stand her now. Can't stand this either. Edge wanted Gangrel to make an entrance with him at WrestleMania 39, but it was shut down.
I don't even want to talk about this, because this match was bullshit. So
okay, well, let's talk pre-match.
I know. I'm just frustrated about it.
I know exactly why you are.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the match. We're talking about the entrance. So.
The thing is, though, is like, okay, Edge, as if you haven't already had like 30 incredible WrestleMania entrances before. And the thing is Gangrel had nothing to do with your storyline. So it's like, yeah, okay, cool. You came out to the Brood music. It had nothing to do with your storyline or your character. You were just trying to do something different. Not really. He got kicked out of the Judgment Day. What did the Brood have to do with it? Like, that's what I'm saying.
He's going into Hell in a Cell and finding that demon. But what he had within the Brood, like what? Yes,
but it doesn't. I'm just saying, it wasn't like this massive thing. It was like this last second, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the Brood guy. Like, here I come. Like, okay, cool. Like, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. And like, cool, you had Gangrel out. You already had a cool entrance. No one was sitting there saying, oh man, I really wish, Edge's entrance at Mania 39 would have been so much better if Gangrel was there. No, everyone was talking about how you had a sick entrance. So it's like, I mean, I get what he's saying, but like, you also won a match you didn't need to win because you were being selfish. So
you're still mad about that.
I'm pissed off.
Clearly reflecting how you
because
we're arguing different things.
Brother knew he was gonna leave, and he couldn't just give the last WrestleMania that he was gonna be at to Finn Balor. He just couldn't do it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't care, bro. How many other WrestleManias have you had? How many other times have you had phenomenal entrances? How many other times have you won matches? You said that you're like living your best life now in AEW, so go and do that. Who cares? I don't care that you want a Gangrel. No one cares. Literally no one cares.
I am just saying that I was disappointed because of the reasoning that they gave.
What was their reasoning?
They said that no one would pop or...
Okay, well, who knows? We also don't know who said that to him. I do think that they have somewhat of a point, though. It's not like it's like. Hold on.
I'm waiting.
I'm not saying nobody would have a pop to Gangrel, but if we're talking about like the most iconic figures from the Attitude Era, Gangrel is far down the list because it wasn't like a long standing, like he wasn't a huge part of the Attitude Era. So I'm saying like it's a very niche fan that would react to Gangrel. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. I don't think the entire stadium would erupt.
They're more reacting to the music.
Yes, and so, but like a lot of people like didn't even know that was what that music was, because it's like you have to think about that a lot of people who are watching aren't old enough to have even been around or even existed.
That's so sad.
When the Brood existed, because it was a small blip in Edge's career. It was like, for the most part, people don't remember that part of his career. You know what I mean? Like we remember Rated R. That's what people remember. But I mean, I think it's like I get what he wanted, I guess, but I don't feel like it took anything away from what he was trying to do. Like if you were trying to come off as badass, like I'm digging into this other side of me, I think you accomplished that. And you got a pop because you used the Brood music. I don't know that you would have gotten a bigger pop because Gangrel was there with a goblet drinking red water. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
It would have added.
But
It would have added to it.
Yeah,
that's all I'm arguing.
Yeah,
you're not wrong, but I am arguing it would have added to the lore.
Maybe. Yeah.
One of these things is definitely not like the other with Val Venus, the Godfather, and Gangrel. Saying that Val Venus would get a bigger pop than Gangrel is
Who said that? Who's saying that? Jay. Are we talking? I'm not even going to address this.
I'm just going to say Val Venus would get negative, while Gangrel would get a good, I think you and I can agree, a good pop. I think Godfather, everyone would lose their shit for the Godfather.
Oh yeah, they do every time.
You have it here.
Because we finally got to see the Godfather after so long. Because then you had to change to the Good Father. You know what I mean? Like,
Right to Censor sucked. I hate Right to Censor.
I think that they were ahead of their time. I kind of feel like they should have been good because they were ahead of their time in like what I mean as like being that type of character. They weren't ahead of their time with trying to be like, we need to censor things, because that was like peak like tits and ass on television on Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? So like it made sense for that character, like that group, to be there, but they just were not used correctly. And I'm sure part of it was because Vince is the one who wanted the boobies and booties on TV every single week.
Boobies and booties
on TV every week. You know, he doesn't want to put those people out there that are like, no, stop showing the boobies, you know. And he probably never thought Ivory was hot either, so that was probably another thing.
She's gorgeous,
but I'm saying not Vince's type. Yeah,
of course not Vince's type.
Yeah,
she's not blonde.
Yeah,
it's time to wrap it up with the 1, 2, 3 count. Okay. And a lot of fun comments today. All right, we're just doing this is fun. Starting off with this. Okay, so I have been clamoring that I'm going to be streaming 2K. Here's the thing, Sarah. We finally found the solution. Sometimes it just I take a road less traveled, as a poet once said. Here's the thing. In the new 2K game, the career mode has 2 options.
Mm-hmm.
One option is a female and the other is male. The storylines are locked for the 2. You can't do a guy for the female story and vice versa. So because of this, my plan was to stream my guy PDP immediately, just jumping in whenever, maybe next week or whatnot. But then I tried to start PDP in this new story. Only women. So here's my thing, Sarah. Do you want to be a star?
You want to make me?
I want to make what you would want your imagination wrestler to be. Name everything, and I'll stream it. Because I'll just be like your manager, like the floating, like Lucatu. Like think of me like Lucatu streaming. And like you're the competitor. Because like here's the thing, I like the women's story so much better. Like so much better. Because the men's one is Roman just like, I have beaten everyone. Here's my title.
Well, isn't it like finishing the story? Yeah, it's like
and you're the dark horse NXT call up or jobber essentially who wins the tournament and becomes champion, and now you're drafted to SmackDown and all that. That's where I'm at right now. Where did I win a Clash of the Castle? I don't know. But the second one, the women's one, is an indie show essentially. And it's like all Hollywood stuff. You get to go on talk shows to actually promote your matches, not just, in-ring promos. Like, it's really cool.
Okay.
So I don't know which one. I think we're going to go with you. A vote. I think I just talked about. I kind of want to, because I think that would be hilarious if we just made like you, like either whatever your character is, and just went and dominated WWE, became a Hall of Famer.
I have to be a heel. So
Yeah, I think I can make that happen easily. And I think there's different paths in the story that you'll end up being a heel. So I need it. I think that needs to happen. So I think we might do that on Monday because that'll be a day off, and I can finally edit some videos to get onto the Nonsense Sports Network YouTube channel because that's kind of dormant. All right, we gotta get back on it. Two. All right. Best wrestling beef of all time. And yeah, Drake, Kendrick, haha, everyone's making that joke. I will too. But not only that, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are putting in their claim to having some of the best wrestling beef in history.
I think my favorite is Iron Sheik and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, fuck the Hulk Hogan. It's one of my favorite tags.
Exactly. That is why I'm obsessed. He did it until like literally the day he died. Just woke up every day and said, fuck Hulk Hogan. Like to me, that's iconic. It's like 50 years of having a beef with someone. To me, that's the best wrestling beef of all time.
It's
like
so fucking fun.
And he got everyone behind him. You know what I mean? Like he didn't even have to really do anything. He just had to wake up, tweet, fuck the Hulk Hogan in all caps every day, multiple times a day, sometimes. And people loved it. They ate it up and they were like, yeah, dude, fuck Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Like, iconic. That's my favorite.
It was a drinking phrase in college, my freshman year, where we would, or freshman, sophomore year, where we would get hammered and we would just scream, fuck the Hulk Hogan. Because my friend wasn't a wrestling fan. He was an Iron Sheik fan from the Twitter that would just tweet out, fuck the Hulk Hogan. Fun fact, friend of mine and Mr. John Alba. It's where this friend, he introduced me to Alba. That's how Alba and I got connected.
Alba
my
doesn't
dog
follow
over
me on
there.
Twitter, that little.
He doesn't follow you anymore?
No, he never followed me.
Oh. Big time, Jew.
I know he asks me to be on his show and then doesn't even follow me. Bro. How dare you?
He thinks he's a little too prestigious for you.
I know.
That's
he's too big for. Yeah.
Well, he's too big for us. He's too
Yeah.
big for us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other like good wrestling beefs. I mean,
I would say Stone Cold Vince McMahon.
that's easy. Jericho Goldberg is one of my favorites.
Bret
Hart
and Goldberg.
Bret Hart and Goldberg. That's easily top 3.
Goldberg and Asuka. What the hell?
What's up with Goldberg? Just not.
That's the thing.
knowing
You got to kind of self-reflect when you are a person in a lot of people's beef. That's when you know it's not them, it's you.
Yeah.
This many people don't hate you because they're mean. Okay, it's you. It's a you problem.
I think the fans in Chris Jericho, because I think he's leaning into it after the learning tree.
Scott Hall also did not like Goldberg, by the way.
I'm shocked.
He said he was a mark for himself. So
yeah, no shit. Look at the guy.
That's why this is what I'm saying. He is my preacher. Whatever he said.
He knows ball. You're on something though.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't even want to talk about Jericho. Like, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm doing such a great job. Look at how they're responding." No, bitch, they were responding like that 2 years before. So they just hate you.
So when I texted you the learning tree, I had 5,000 like one-liners like ready to go in my head, but it was like watching that segment, my brain imploded because it's so bad that it's actually good, and he's so good at making it seem so bad. Like it's a pretzel. Because I get what he's like. I mean, obviously, as we know, I'm the ultimate optimist, and I try to see what he's trying to at least go for. And what he's going for is really, it's really good. It's a good plan. He's executing it well, even with the "hi guys, hey," like the annoying dude who he's so chipper and happy, but he's actually a complete douchebag. And you can I love it.
I think that there's just a weird line because it's like some people are going to be reacting to his character, but a lot of them are also reacting because they're just sick of Chris Jericho. And yeah, it's going to be put together as if he's doing a really good job at his new character. You know, like that's just what people are going to take away from it. And it's like, no, that's not exactly 100% true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good. I do like that, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's good for him, I guess, for turning it into something, but
On the learning tree.
Into generic. Like, did Fozzy make that beat? Because Fozzy's better than that beat.
Yeah.
On this day, we were going to write something here, but what actually happened? Then I go back to Twitter and realize that it wasn't on this day. It was someone saying that, announcing that in this day of age, and we recognized that Big Boss Man was hung from Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, which is one of the most absurd things that could have been happening.
There's your microphone is like cutting out or something. I don't know are you actually using your mic or are you using your headphones?
I'm using my mic.
Oh, okay, there we go. I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So point is, I just completely screwed this up. So instead, on this day, we're going to find out right now what happened on this day in wrestling history. Wrestling history on this day. On this day in history, May 10th. No, 9th.
It's the 9th.
Yeah, you're a day early. I'm trying to find one of relevancy. Okay, we got 1999. Kevin Nash defeated Diamond Dallas Page for the title. All right. Oh, there's really nothing. There's like really nothing. Jerry Lawler became the new AWA champion. That's just not relevant. An extremely rare non-televised Royal Rumble match was held on a WWE house show in Osaka, Japan. Undertaker won. Who do you think he eliminated in 1994? I'll give you a hint. Big guy.
I don't know.
Bam. Bam.
Oh.
Bigelow.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what happened. I thought there'd be at least one event. It was just that. Hulk Hogan versus Proper Booking, aka anybody. Vince Russo versus Jim Cornette. That's another great one.
Hulk Hogan versus his contract. Hulk Hogan versus WCW.
Vince Russo versus anybody.
Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think about this. But yeah, there we go. Losing my mind. Vinny, yeah, we didn't see you. Catch up on the past hour and 28 that we just talked about. So we're wrapping up the show here. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to this edition of Pits and Sours Wrestling Show. Hit that subscribe button, bell notification to know when we go live. Really makes a difference. And, obviously follow the links in the descriptions below. And we'll be back on Saturday for the SmackDown breakdown. Because guess what? There's actually SmackDown to this week that we need to talk about and not just a go-home show. So we'll be talking about that same time Saturday. Can't wait to see you there. And in the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do... I'm going to crack my neck. All you got to do is try. We'll see you Saturday. Yeah.